Hi, I'm Katie Magnus, and I am a Silver Ambassador with Plexus Worldwide, and I want to share part of my story today that I will just warn you is going to talk about my digestive system, and I'm going to talk about pooping, and it's not the most pleasant topic, but it's been a huge part of my life, and I believe that there are many other people who are probably struggling with something similar, so I want to be open about it, and I want to share it. So I'm going to just jump right in. Up to 9th grade, I had lived a relatively normal life, pretty healthy. Didn't deal with too many issues besides the occasional stomach bug. I had some allergies, mostly just seasonal allergies. So in 9th grade, I started to have some stomach issues, some pain, cramping, bloating, and I was playing volleyball at the time, and it started to get to a point where it would affect me. I'd have to lay down in between games at tournaments because I was hurting. So my mom took me to the doctor. We went to my pediatrician, and she took x-rays of my abdominal area. And she said, "You're full of air and gas, and that's why you're feeling uncomfortable." So we went to the store, we got some Gas-X, some Beano, took those kinds of things, and it never seemed to really address the problem. So then I went to another doctor. They took an x-ray, and they said, "You are full of waste. You're constipated." So we started to focus on that. We got Miralax, drank a lot of hot tea. I started taking fiber pills. And that never really seemed to help either. So 2 doctors in told me totally different things, and that wasn't helping. In my 10th grade year, I was supposed to go on a mission trip to Mexico, and it was about 3 weeks before the trip that things started to get worse. So we talked to the doctor, and they said they thought I had a kink in my colon, and they said, "You cannot go to Mexico with a kink in your colon, because if that thing all breaks up and gets into your system, that's going to be life-threatening to you." So it was like days before this trip, and I am sitting on my parents' bathroom floor giving myself an enema, like 10th grade, giving myself an enema because Miralax and Gas-X and Beano and all these doctors have not been able to help me. I got the issue cleared up, and I was able to go on my trip, but then of course I was in the position of freaking out that I'm going to spend 2 days in a bus using only public restrooms with short pit stops and 10 girls in line behind me waiting to go to the bathroom. And what if I have to, deal with these issues while I'm on this trip? So I was terrified. I made it through the trip. Everything was okay. Nothing memorable to report. But then it still continued being an issue. So I went and got an EGD done. If you don't know what that is, that's where they put you to sleep and they go down your throat to explore into your digestive system and see what's going on. Not super pleasant, but I did that. They didn't find anything from it. I then went to a doctor where they did some test that I have no idea what it's called, but you drink this very chalky, more solid than liquid stuff, and it goes into your body, and they put you in this giant rotating machine and watch how it goes through your body. Again, no idea what it's called or what the purpose of it was. I only know that I did not get answers from it. I ended up then starting to have reflux. I went to an ear, nose, and throat doctor who told me that I had nodules on my vocal cords from the reflux that I was having so much. I ended up one night thinking I was having a heart attack, and so my mom took me to the ER because I told her I couldn't breathe and my chest was hurting. And we went to the ER, and they said, "You're just having really bad heartburn, and sometimes it can be bad enough that people think they're having a heart attack." So all of this is going on throughout high school, and all the while I have not told any friends about this. My closest friends didn't know. Most of my extended family didn't know, because it was embarrassing. It's really not something you want to tell people, to say, "I don't go to the bathroom for 2 to 3 days," or "I have these stomach pains that are unexplained," and you sound crazy, you feel crazy when you have been to so many specialists and no one can tell you what's wrong with you. And it was really frustrating for me to go through things and feel like I can live life as a normal kid, as a normal teenager, because I always had this at the forefront of my mind, like, where was a restroom going to be available if I had to go, and it's been 2 days, and like, I obviously wanted to go to the bathroom. And so it was just a really uncomfortable situation to be in, both physically and just emotionally. It was hard. So freshman year, I went to school, went to college, a new college. I didn't know anyone there, and obviously not the first thing you want to bring up with your random roommate or your brand new friend. So I continued to keep it a secret. And how I'd learned to deal with it was I would drink a lot of hot tea, I would drink a lot of hot coffee, and I had a corn cozy, those little corn heating pads. I still have it, actually. I use it every now and then. And you stick it in the microwave, and then I would put it on my stomach. I would let it kind of loosen things up, soften my muscles. I don't know if that's a real thing, but I felt like it was working. And then I would massage my own stomach to give myself some relief from the pressure and the cramping. And that helped. It was annoying because I would often do it after most meals and before bed. As often as I could, obviously not if I was going to class or something, but so I would deal with it that way. Sophomore year, I started eating a lot more Taco Bell. I didn't have very good healthy habits, and so everything got a little bit exacerbated. My reflux was worse, the cramps were worse, and it was kind of getting to a point where it was like getting in the way, like more so than it already had been. I wasn't able to deal with it as well as I had been. So one day I decided, I remember vividly sitting on my bed with my friends, being pretty uncomfortable and telling them, I think I'm going to try to throw up, and I think it'll make me feel better. And of course that was like red flags everywhere, but I was like, I promise, it's just to make me feel better. So I did. I went to the bathroom. I looked around, made sure nobody was there because I had a community bathroom in a dorm room at that time. And I stuck a toothbrush down my throat and I threw up. And it did make me feel better. It was all the food that wasn't being digested the right way got out of my body, and I felt better. It hurt my throat, but my stomach felt better. So I would do that every now and then, mostly just when I needed to. And my friends knew about it. They weren't, I had assured them that it wasn't for any wrong reasons. Well, then I got to a point where it was for wrong reasons. I started to think, if I'm already throwing up anyway, I might as well do this for weight loss purposes. And so I did. I started throwing up usually once a day at least, sometimes more, sometimes less, depending on where I was and if I was able to do it without people finding out. And eventually my friends found out that I was doing it more and that I was doing it for the wrong reasons. Not that there was ever really a right reason, but in my mind it was the only thing I could do. I was, feeling desperate about it. So they found out, and they helped me stop. They held me accountable. They were pretty firm with me to make sure I didn't do it anymore. And I moved past that. But that was a whole nother obstacle that was brought on because of this and because of not having answers and feeling helpless. So I went back to, after I got past the eating disorder, I went back to using my corn cozy and massaging my own stomach and dealing with it that way. Laying down seemed to help. So I would do that. And a year out of college, I have dealt with this 10th grade through a year past graduating college. And that's when I heard about Plexus. And I initially tried it for weight loss. I had moved past my stomach issues at this point. Like, I just dealt with them. They were part of life. Sometimes, unless it was really bad, I didn't even think about it. I just did my rituals and dealt with it the way I always had. And so I never even questioned Plexus helping this. But I started the Slim and Accelerator to lose weight. I didn't use it correctly. I didn't use it consistently, and therefore I did not lose weight instantly. And because I didn't lose weight in 7 days like I expected to, I quit using the products, and I thought they were a scam, and I never imagined I would touch them again or even think about them again. So I didn't, and then Kim Waller kept posting about it. Kept saying post after post after post, and I thought, I am going to have to unfollow her. Like, she's driving me insane talking about this Plexus stuff that we all know is a scam, so why won't she shut up about it? I promise I wasn't that mean, but I really was annoyed. So, I was this close to unfollowing her when she posted something about stomach issues and candida yeast overgrowth and leaky gut, which I had never heard of. So I Googled them and I started to see, like, what are these things about? And as I was looking through the symptoms and what it was talking about, I was like, this fits me to a T. Like, this is my life. It was like seasonal allergies and the stomach issues and all kinds of things that I would never have even linked to my stomach problems. So, I sent Kim a message and I said, okay, listen, I've tried Plexus before and it didn't work, so I'm just letting you know I'm a huge skeptic, but I want to know has this really helped your stomach? And she said, yes, I think what you were using wasn't right for what you personally needed. I want you to try the triplex. I want you to use it for a month and be consistent and drink your water. It's like, okay, I will give it a shot. Nothing else, I'll rule it out the way I've ruled everything else out in my life. So I decided to try it, and I am not kidding you, within 3 weeks, I was going to the bathroom daily, at least once, sometimes more than once. My reflux was completely gone. My pain was gone, like the bloating, the cramping, all of that was gone. And I was feeling better than I ever had. I lost weight really quickly initially because my body was finally functioning the way it was meant to function. And so it was able to get rid of that excess weight I had been holding on to for 7 years. So I started to feel instantly better. I mean, I say instantly. It was 3 weeks. It wasn't instant, but to me, 3 weeks was instant compared to the years that I had been dealing with this. So from that point on, I was pretty sold, at the very least, on the triplex. I didn't even know that Plexus had all these other products, but that combo was never going to leave my life again. And so that's when I decided to become an ambassador, and that's why I do this, and that's why over a year later I can't shut up about Plexus, because it has so dramatically changed my quality of life in so many ways. I don't even know, I mean, I cannot put it into words. It's hard for me to even verbalize how much it's changed my life and what a completely different person I am. Not only are the pain and the digestive issues gone, but I am happy, I have energy, I sleep better, I feel better. I mean, I started running, and I never would have run before. So for me, it's something that I cannot keep a secret, because I know that I was keeping my stomach issues a secret. And so had I not seen Kim's posts, she would never have known to reach out to me. And so I know that there are likely other people who are dealing with things I was dealing with, and who are ashamed and embarrassed, because they are things that feel embarrassing, and they feel like you're helpless and you're crazy because no one can pinpoint them. So I want you to know, if you're one of those people, that you're not crazy. And I absolutely 100% get what you're going through. Even if your issues are a little different from mine, I understand, and I can feel for you. And if you're interested, even at the very least, in just talking about my story more in depth, or if you want to ask me, compare stories, whatever it may be, please, please, please reach out to me and shoot me a message, because no one else may ever know that you're going through this, and I will completely keep it confidential because I understand where you're coming from. But if it's something you're struggling with, I would love to talk to you about it. Or if you know of someone who is,